Let's use the difference quotient. Now there is a different video that talks about what it is and why it works. Here we are just going to apply it. So first we're going to deal with function notation. So in 1A, we really are just practicing function notation. What does it mean if we have f of 4? And this is vital because you have to understand how function notation works to be able to properly apply the difference quotient. So with f of 4, this means if I say f of 4, the input, what we plug in for x is 4. So 3 times 4 minus 7. 3 times 4 is 12. 12 minus 7 is 5. So f of 4 equals 5. That simply means if I input 4, I get 5. And the ordered pair would be 4, 5. Great. That's the review of function notation. Now, the difference quotient means, first off, I take the function and I plug in x plus h for x. So I will take my function 3 times x plus h minus 7. That's this first part. Then I subtract the function, just f of x. So I'm subtracting 3x minus 7. I highly recommend you put that second function in parentheses, and we're going to divide this whole thing by h. All right, let's simplify the numerator. So first I'm going to distribute my 3. So 3x plus 3h, I still have a minus 7. And now I'm going to distribute that negative. So minus 3x plus 7, again, divide everything by h. Notice I have 3x minus 3x in the numerator. Those are going to cancel out. I have negative 7 plus 7. Those are going to cancel out. And I'm left with 3h over h. Well, those h's cancel out, and I am just left with a value of 3. So that is the function notation here. It's actually the slope of this particular line. Okay, loving that, loving that. Because the difference quotient is, in fact, slope. So the fact that this is 3 and the slope, because our function is in slope-intercept form, is 3, that kind of shows what we're dealing with. All right, let's go to number 2, where we have a little bit of a more advanced problem, 2x squared minus x, dealing with our function notation. So as we discussed, first step, we take x plus h and we plug it into x in our function. So 2 times x plus h squared minus x plus h. Then we're going to subtract just the function, 2x squared minus x, all over h. All right, let's simplify in the numerator. So my first step is going to be to, well, first we got to square this. So x plus h squared is x squared plus 2xh plus h squared. I'm going to go ahead and then distribute this. So minus x minus h, distribute my negative, minus 2x squared plus x. Still dividing all of this by h. Well, I've got one more step I've got to distribute this to. So 2x squared plus 4xh plus 2h squared. And then I'm just going to write everything else down. Minus h minus 2x squared plus x. And again, we're dividing all of this by h. Now, what do we have? Let's check out this action. I've got 2x squared minus 2x squared. I've got minus x plus x. Everything else kind of stays as is. So I have 4xh plus 2h squared minus h, all divided by h. We can reduce, right? Because every term in the numerator has an h, I can reduce this out. This is the same as 4xh over h plus 2h squared over h minus h over h. Same thing. So when I go through and say, okay, these h's are going to cancel out. We're going to cancel out one of those h's, and these cancel out to just be 1 over 1. So my final answer is 4x plus 2h minus 1. That would be the slope, or the change over time between 2 points on this line, okay? All right, let's do one more. Again, a quadratic here where we're going to work on this. So when I plug this in, x plus h, so I do x plus h squared minus 8 times x plus h plus 2, right? That's the first function. Then I'm going to subtract just the second function. So x squared minus 8x plus 2, divide all of that by h. Let's simplify in the numerator. So I'm going to square this. X squared plus 2xh plus h squared. Distribute my negative 8, so negative 8x minus 8h. Still have a plus 2. Then I distribute the negative. Minus x squared plus 8x, right, because 2 negatives is a positive, minus 2. We're going to divide all of this by h. Let's check out our numerator. What can we get rid of? X squared minus x squared. Negative 8x plus 8x plus 2 minus 2. And what are we left with? We're left with 2xh plus h squared minus 8h all over h. So once again, we're at the point where get rid of an h, get rid of an h, get rid of an h. And I am left with 2x plus h minus 8. So you can see these can get a little bit involved, but at the end of the day, they are legit just algebra, right? We have to square something. We have to distribute. We're going to have to reduce. We're combining like terms. These are all algebraic computations that we've done forever. We just have to really pay attention to those negative signs. Make sure you're using parentheses when you're putting in a quantity so that you can actually make sure the signs are correct as you go through. Okay, very important just to pay attention to those little details. And at the end of the day, our difference quotient is showing the change over time between 2 points in a function. Thank you.